The very thing you keep dismissing is your gift. You don't feel your purpose not because it doesn't exist, but because it's too close. You're so used to your own abilities, you call them nothing special. You read people easily, but think everyone can. You sense the atmosphere and call it sensitivity. You write, build, explain, draw effortlessly, and then say to yourself, it's just a hobby. But here's the truth. Your gifts aren't for you. They're for others. And your job is to start seeing them. The world is designed in such a way that you rarely notice your own gold, because it's built into you by default. So it doesn't amaze you, doesn't feel valuable. You think, if it comes easily, it must not be worth much. But the truth is the opposite. What comes easiest to you is your path. Research into human potential shows that our strongest talents often aren't what we train for years, but what we use constantly, without even realizing it. Things we don't see as gifts because they've always been there. You might carry something that's salvation for someone else. What feels simple to you and might be impossible for them. But as long as you devalue your gift, the world can't amplify it. The system can't open the way if you keep saying, "Who am I to matter?" Purpose isn't something you find. It's something you stop ignoring. It's not a fight, then it's a remembering. Purpose isn't a job title. It's a state of energy. You keep searching for your thing, asking yourself, what should I do? What should I become? Where am I needed? But you're looking outside. And purpose lives within. It's not a role. It's not a profession. It's a state in which you give your highest energy to the world and receive clarity, strength, and resonance in return. When someone is doing what truly lights them up, the brain activates dopamine centers and they enter a flow state, where time disappears, energy flows freely, and instead of exhaustion, there's expansion. That's your marker. When you're in your purpose, you don't burn out. You come alive. Talent is the doorway, but purpose begins when you walk through that door to give. You can be gifted in speaking and become a doctor, a psychologist, a teacher, an actor, a leader. You can be sensitive to patterns and thrive in design, systems, or deep research. You can heal through words, a glance, a touch. It's not about the job. It's about energy flowing through form. And here's the most important thing. Purpose doesn't come from searching. It comes through motion. You won't find it by sitting still. You'll find it when you start sharing, trying, failing, moving forward. You won't know who you are until you live differently. Purpose isn't the question, what should I do? It's the question, what state am I in when I feel most real? You're waiting for a click, that moment when it all makes sense. But the path feels distant because you've disconnected from yourself. You don't live in your body, you live in your mind. You analyze, compare, plan, but you rarely live. And yet, purpose isn't a thought. It's a feeling, a vibration, a whisper from within. When you're constantly anxious, overwhelmed, or stressed, your brain shifts into survival mode. And in that noise, you can't hear the subtle signal of your path. Purpose doesn't come to the one who's running. It comes to the one who stops and breathes. You want to know who you are? Then return to silence, to your body, to the breath. Here's your moment of clarity. Don't ask, what should I do? Ask, what do I do that makes me feel alive? It might be something simple, a conversation that gives you goosebumps, an action that brings lightness, an idea that makes your heart beat faster. That's your doorway. Don't ignore it. Even if it makes no sense. Even if you don't know where it leads. You're not lost. You've just lived too long in your head. Now it's time to remember what it means to feel. But what if you don't believe in yourself? How do you unlock your gift then? The first step isn't to believe. It's to stop waiting for belief to magically appear. You won't feel ready first. You'll start, and then feel ready. Notice what you do for fun. Notice what you do without effort, on autopilot, just for friends, for joy, for yourself. That's the root of your gift. You don't need to monetize it right away or turn it into a business. You just need to give it more attention. It could be the ability to notice details, to tell stories, to feel people's depths, to create, to connect, to sense, to express. If it's alive inside you, it's not random. It's your way. Do it more. Without pressure, without expectation. It's not about building a career, it's about igniting your energy. And once that energy starts to flow, signs begin to appear. Ideas arrive, people show up, the path unfolds. It's not mysticism, it's resonance. You're turning on your signal, and the world responds. Stop comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. You look at people who are already there and think, I'm so far behind. But you don't see how they started, and more importantly, they're not your competition, because your frequency is one of a kind. Some speak with fire, some with softness, some with clarity, some with empathy. All are needed, as long as they're not copies of someone else. Say yes to opportunities, even if they scare you. They won't come when you're ready. They'll come when you've reached the right frequency. Even if your mind hasn't caught up yet, if your soul says this is mine, go. Unfolding your gift isn't a moment, it's a path. And it begins with one simple act, allowing yourself to be you. No excuses, no masks, no comparisons. You weren't born with this feeling inside by accident. You weren't given this fire for decoration. Your gift isn't just for beauty. It's a tool, a bridge, a light in someone else's darkness. And you can spend your whole life hiding or one day say, enough. The world doesn't need my perfection. The world needs my presence. Because with every moment you doubt yourself, someone out there is still lost, waiting for your words, your energy, your truth. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to be a superhero. But you do need to be present, real, alive. Because that's when the world receives the real you. Remember this. Purpose isn't when you do something for yourself. It's when you do something through yourself. You don't become someone else. You come back to yourself. Thank you for being here. If this video spoke to you, subscribe, leave a comment, share how it made you feel. You are real. You are needed. You are the ones changing the world, simply by choosing to be yourselves. See you in the next video. Wishing you a clear path and a true self until next time. Until